Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mochammad Alfat Rafif Yumna. My student card number is A320200148. I came from Class H of Public Speaking. Today, I shall describe the contents within successful public speaking. The first thing that we shall learn is the evolution of public speaking. Public speaking is a process, an act, and an art of making a speech before an audience. Public speaking is an ancient form of communicating to the masses. There are many techniques of public speaking. There are three parts of persuasion by Aristotle. The first rules of public speech was elaborated on over 2,000 years ago by the Greek philosopher and teacher of Alexander the Great, Aristotle. We knew them as three basic parts of persuasion. Ethos, credibility of the speaker. In order to be asked to share their thoughts, observations, and ideas publicly, a speaker should possess a certain level of authority and knowledge about the chosen topics. The second is logos, logic behind any conclusions drawn by the speaker. To make sure that the message is received and understood correctly by the audience, it has to be conveyed in a clear, informative, and logical manner. Pathos, emotional appeal or ability to create connections between the speaker and his audience. And to capture and hold the audience attention, the speaker must first establish an emotional connection with the listeners. The next thing are the Cicero's 5 canon of rhetoric. After the ascension of Rome, public speaking techniques developed in Greece were copied and modified by the Romans. Cicero wrote his treatise called De Oratore, where he explained his 5 canons of rhetoric. They are widely used by many public speakers up to this day. Cicero believed that the process of eloquent speech preparation consists of 5 main steps. The first is invention, development and refinement of the argument, i.e., finding ways to persuade. The second being arrangement, creation of the structure of a coherent argument. The third is style, the process of determining how to present an argument using rhetorical techniques and choosing the words that have the greatest impacts on the audience. The fourth is memory, the process of learning and memorizing the speech while making it sound natural. The fifth is delivery, the process of making effective use of voice and body language. Modern elements of public speaking. In the current age, public speaking is capable of being performed in many apparatus, such as the internet, television, or etc. Public speaking has evolved from a skill reserved by a public few and a selected few to one of the most powerful marketing, educational, and brand promotion tools in any business. Most public speeches can be broken down into 5 basic elements, usually expressed as who is saying what, to whom, using what medium, with what effects. There are 3 styles of speech. The 3 most common styles of speeches that you encounter in today's business and social worlds are impromptu, manuscript, and extemporaneous speech. The next thing we shall learn is overcoming the fear of public speaking. In order to achieve a proficiency in public speaking, we must first destroy the inability to speak in public. How do we do so? And how do we make such an event an exciting thing? There are 5 practical ways to transform fear into solution. First, deep breathing. Second, shifting focus outwards. Third, visualizing. Fourth, focusing on facts, not fear. And fifth, building your speech on clarity, not complexity. Components of a successful speech. There are many advantages that written language has over verbal communication, but verbal communication can be significantly more effective in expressing the meaning of the message to the audience. there are the other means of communication available to the speaker, in which the written language does not allow. These include storytelling, body language, tone of voice, pauses, and visual cues. Tone of voice. A speaker's confidence, emotional state, and attitude is often revealed in the tone of voice. In the area of public speaking, your voice becomes a powerful instrument that allows you to engage, charm, and encourage your audience to listen. The speaker have to make their speech more expressive and hypnotizing. Paralanguage. The term paralanguage refers to the non-verbal elements of communication, such as pace, the speed which we set our speech out loud; pitch, the frequency of the highness or lowness of the voice; volume, the power of loudness in the voice; and, in some cases, enunciation of vocal speech. Next is the power of pauses. The power of pause came from letting the silence talk to you, and thus it shall enhance your speech better. Most pauses used during public speaking can be divided in four main categories. Short pause. Short pauses that last from half a second to 2 seconds are mainly used for separating thoughts, emphasizing the last word that was said, or building anticipation for what is coming. Next is some spontaneity pause. A spontaneity pause is used when the speaker is searching for the right word or pretending to reflect on something. Long pause. Long pauses can last anywhere from 3 seconds to a couple of minutes, and they are very powerful. They command the audience's attention by literally creating tension in the auditorium. These are used by people who are comfortable talking to a large audience of people. And lastly, pseudo-pause. The main purpose of a pseudo-pause, just like regular pause, is to bring people's attention back to what is being said and underline the last sentence. Next is visual aids. A picture is worth 1,000 words. By adding a visual dimension to your presentation, it can make it more vivid, graphic, and professional looking. Such things include flip charts, overhead projectors, and slideshows. The existence of a visual aid can be the difference from being barely informative to utterly brilliant. When used in a presentation, by adding some convincing scientific evidence, you can make the speech more persuasive and easier to remember. The next thing is the 3 P's of a successful speech: preparation, practice, and performance. Preparation. In order to make your speech both interesting and memorable for the listeners, it is important to consider the vital steps before the speech preparation, which includes the 3 key elements: the audience, who is the speech written for; the purpose, what is the main objective of the speech; and the direction of the speech, how will the speech be presented. Practice. Public speaking, just like any other skills, requires constant practice in order to be improved. The more you talk in public, the more you train your mind and body to recognize speaking as a familiar and safe situation. The more confident you will feel in the spotlight, the more better you will be. You can start doing it by practicing up to 30 times before the actual speaking engagement. Lastly, performance. There are some tips that will allow you to improve your performance even better. There are: relax before you get up to talk, your shoulders and opening your throat, releasing tension before making you look more confident. Next is greet your audience with a smile, and do not rush through your presentations. The next thing that you have to do is to analyze your performance the day after your presentation. In order to become a great public speaker, there are many things that ought to be mastered. There will come a time where we need to interact with a large audience. With creativity, intelligent planning, and consistent practice, anyone can become a brilliant public speaker. That's it. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.